Hey, persistence runners. So today is the 10th of May 2026. I ran the big route tester yesterday, the BLR one that's organized by DM White, that I think is the one that most people do, although I think there have been two smaller ones that have run in the previous 2 weeks. But just some updates about the route. As you can see, we don't really have winter in KZN. I'm back up in Hillcrest at my in-laws, and you can see it really. It's not that I'm gonna have a dip in the pool there just now. So things about the route from yesterday. Just two main things really. When you are approaching Cater Ridge, you go under that bridge. The Comrades route comes parallel to the freeway, where there's only a concrete barrier between the freeway and the Comrades route. You go under a railway bridge that crosses both the freeway and the Comrades route, and then you just run a steady uphill before you do a 90-degree left turn, go underneath the freeway into the village. That piece of tar, it's about it's about a kilometer. They've chewed it all up, and there's no single piece of flat tar that you can run on. I would expect them to do something to fix it up before Comrades, because you really very difficult to run on. Once you run sort of 60 odd kilometers, that's going to be pretty tough. And felt like you could sprain your ankle at any moment. But I would hope that they will fix it up, but you never know. And then apart from that, there's lots of new tar with all the roadworks and them doing changes to the freeway and changes to the access roads and that kind of thing. There are one or two places where the Comrades route has benefited. But the other sort of significant change is at Omlaas Road, where we are going to cut across as you do sort of the horseshoe bend coming down towards Van der Merwes. Instead of running and turning 180 degrees and then running back on yourself up to where the traffic intersection is, we're going to cut across. Yesterday we had to do a bit of trail running and a bit of barrier hopping, but on Comrades Day they're going to take the barriers down and make some kind of a plan for us to get across there, which is going to cut a bit off the route for us. And then from there we're going to stay on the left hand side of the freeway and join up along the old route, unlike 2 years ago where we crossed the new bridge and then we actually ran on part of the new freeway for a little while because it wasn't open yet. But that is all open to traffic nowadays. So we're going to stay on the old route as you're going towards Maritzburg, is on the left-hand side of the freeway, and run the old way that we used to run, although they've reconfigured some of the roads there, and that's some of the new tar that is present. And then aside from that, things are pretty much the same as they've always been. I must admit that it was noticeable yesterday how obviously I ran pretty conservatively, as I think most sensible people were. But once you get to that highest point there at Omlaas Road, aside from having to get up those two nasty hills at Polly Shorts, which is quite interesting at the moment, there's roadworks happening there, but on Comrades Day, with the road being closed, we'll have 2 lanes to run on. It was a bit more interesting than that yesterday, and we had to do a bit of trail running and running on the other side of the barrier to the traffic where the roadworks are actually happening, but that's not going to be the case on Comrades Day. It really, aside from getting up those 2 hills, it really is, yes, it is a long way, but there's nothing really that's actually going to hurt you if you have, the key to Comrades is really that first 40 kilometers, and getting up to the top of Bothas Hill, you barely get a run downhill. You're just going to climb and climb and climb all the way. But then once you are at the top of Bothas, it's an undulating run, and there really isn't anything that's actually really going to hurt your legs properly. And once you get over Omlaas Road, there's a lot of really easy, really steady downhill running. And I mean, there were some people once we'd crested Polly Shorts, there were some people who were obviously feeling fresh and really bouncy, who were absolutely flying along there. And even I, in the last few kilometers, knowing that I was feeling pretty good and, with it being a relatively shorter run, obviously, although running over 50 Ks is still pretty daunting to most people, but you really are able to take advantage of that and really pick up your pace and use gravity to your advantage if you have been sensible in that beginning part of the run. So yeah, getting your pacing strategy and your effort levels and all that right, and approaching the route correctly is really, really important on Comrades Day. And every time I run that Hillcrest to Durban route tester, it's really, really evident, because only starting Hillcrest kind of takes care of that for you. And even though there's still a bit of mileage to do in the build-up, I mean, today I'm not even stiff at all. Um, I could easily do a frog squat and bend down, and got no stiffness whatsoever. Whereas that's never been the case after Comrades, and I've still got a few weeks of mileage left to get in my legs. So yeah, just gonna be we up in Hillcrest at my in-laws for Mother's Day, and they've got a bit of a colder pool than ours, so going to be heading into there for a bit of recovery. But yeah, actually feeling really good. It's probably the best I've ever felt after route tester, after all my Comrades runs. So hopefully learning a bit from experience. And got 5 weeks to go. And yeah, just I hope it's all going well for you guys. I know I haven't put anything up this year yet. But yeah, 5 weeks to go. The hard work really is done. Don't do too much now. Whatever boat you're in, that's pretty much the boat you're going to be in. So don't go too hard and cause too much fatigue now. Just keep going at the level that you're at, and that'll be your best approach to Comrades Day. And yeah, bring on the 14th of June.